Okay, hello my audience. Today I'm going to give you a little speech. And this speech about being poor. And I'm not too poor, but I'm going to say that I'm pretty poor. And I bet that there's a lot of poor people in the audience too. And I want to ask you a question. Do you have to settle for suboptimal solutions because you're poor? And does this make your whatever you do, if you do anything, does it make it kind of suffer? Because if you're the type of person that you're poor, but you are not really trying to do much, if you got, extra money and this kind of stuff, it would be just maybe spent on, extra maybe food or extra drugs or extra, type of housing stuff or whatever, transportation, that's how you would spend your monies. Then it doesn't really apply to you, this question, because this question is really like aimed at the creative types over there. So the question again, do you have to settle for suboptimal solutions because you are poor? And think about a situation where there's a man that is really trying to do something and he has to settle for something that is kind of, okay, but at the same time, it could be so much better. For example, this microphone you are right now hearing, it's just, that type of a poor person choice that I made on this. But at the same time, if I didn't make that choice, maybe something, great wouldn't have happened out of that. So I made the choice, and yeah. So the next time you think about your choices and you're poor, think about like what's the best option that you have. I mean, what's the best option that you have if you had the means to get it? And just, try to devise a way that you could go straight to that. Because I feel that there's a lot of people that, for example, with technology, this is a great example. With technology, they buy the mid-range or the cheap range, type of a solution, and it's pretty shitty, and they can't really do the stuff they want with it, and then it ends up on some lamp mill somewhere or something like that in a couple of months, weeks, years, that kind of stuff. So being poor can be actually also kind of bad for the environment. At least when you think about clothes, for example, the fact is that cheap clothes are fucking shit, like the quality of them. And in terms of like technology is kind of different, like you could say that it's not about the durability that is kind of the differentiating factor usually with technology. Like cheap technology can last like forever. For example, I have a mouse over here. I just got a new Logitech mouse, but it's the same model as my previous one that I got like 5 years ago, and the old one still works. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. With technology, you can be rest assured that most of this stuff is going to last forever. But if you get something that is kind of suboptimal and it lasts forever, it's just gonna irk you. So when you look at that fine thing that you would so want to buy, whatever it is, and you're poor, and then you think about your money situation and you count your pennies and this kind of stuff, and you go like, I can't afford that better thing, like what should I do? I'm going to say that if you can do what you are doing at the moment, then you shouldn't like skimp out and you shouldn't get that cheaper option. You should head straight for the better option when you can. But if you cannot just yourself simply it's just impossible to keep continuing on doing what you need to do, and you're poor, then you should go for the cheaper option. You shouldn't like save and wait, because that won't be a good idea, because there's a lot of stuff that can actually happen even with the suboptimal solution. There's a lot of stuff that you can still do, and if you don't do those things, you miss a lot of practice. And remember that it's about you. It's not about these things. You are not trying to build like a huge collection of like electronical gadgets, probably, or maybe you are, but you have to understand it's about you and your abilities and your talents and your skills. And it's the one thing about the artist life that is freaking shitty, that really, like, doing most artful things is actually very, difficult and hard, and requires huge amounts of deliberation and skill. But at the same time, you tend to get, like, the how you get paid for it, so it's a convoluted kind of process. You don't work usually for a boss, or maybe you can work for a boss. But even with, like, for example, the recording industry, which I'm going to talk about next. Even the recording industry, like, how does it actually work? Like, it's not the same thing as, working for a salary. No way. So I'm going to tell you, just the last comment in this video is that I actually sent couple of my artworks to this major, record label, because I think that they could maybe be used in some, album artwork, maybe. I don't really know about it, but I just felt that there's something, here. But yeah, I sent them. I don't know. But, I have been for the longest time trying to find the use for my art and how to kind of monetize it. But, I just cannot find a way to do that. It just, it feels kind of, shitty, to do so much but not being able to, like, make any more money out of that. You're kind of stuck. So that's that. So wait and kind of, go for the, like, the optimum option,